Question 1. What pets are red flags to you when someone says they have one? Answer 1. Answer 1. Anyone with an entire collection of anything that they don't have the time or space to take care of. They're alive, they're not toys. Answer 2. If your dog is chained to a tree for most of, if not all of its life. Used fuck off onto the sun. Answer 3. I'm always a bit cautious when it comes to people who have a pet rabbit, because I had one that lived a very long life, and I know that they're the kind of pet that doesn't usually get what they need. My heart breaks when there's a rabbit in a small cage that only eats pellets. They're not an oversized hamster. They need space to run and bippy, and they need so much fresh greens. But people who get one thinking it's a good starter pet should know that they deserve just as much attention and respect as a cat or dog. I'm still upset with a friend who wanted to raise one from a baby, but it stayed in the cage and never got greens. She tried rehoming it after less than a year, didn't want it anymore. When I went to visit, I fed the bunny its first dandelion and picked it up. She was surprised it could be picked up. The bunny was making happy noises it had never made before. Answer for monkeys. Might look and act cute, but make it jealous or it gets pissed off, it's gonna rip your friggin' face off. No thanks, I'll pass. Edit. Thanks to everyone who liked my comment. This is my biggest ever. Answer 5. Spider ball pythons. Just say you like to look at something pretty and don't care how much it suffers. It'd be more honest than whatever justifications you might have for paying a breeder for something destined for a poor quality of life like that. Answer 6. Any of those dog breeds that have a ton of health issues. Or people who get dog breeds that they can't handle. Like someone I know who has a sheepdog but lives in a small apartment and doesn't take the dog out much. These animals have needs, and they are not just here as an accessory. Answer 7. Sugar gliders are a red flag if the person does a lot of traveling or mentions that they only own one. Sugar gliders are highly communal and bond both to each other and the humans that take care of them. It's very bad for their mental health for them to be solitary. Answer 8. Sugar gliders. There was a trend a few years ago where people were at malls trying to sell them. Answer 9. Any monster fish. While there are some people who keep them well, I've seen far more people just toss a bunch of giant fish in a tank where they can barely turn. Around answer 10, the biggest red flag is anyone who doesn't provide any pet with proper enrichment and care. Most people I know who have dogs really shouldn't have them. Similar things with reptiles, birds, and fish. Too many people are comfortable showing off miserable critters. Animals aren't accessories. They need to match your lifestyle and limitations. Answer 11. Parrots. Till I see the parrot and the owner interact. Is the bird out of the cage for at least 3 to 4 hours a day? Ideally more? Do they have plenty of things to destroy? Are they allowed to be loud? Are they given a good varied diet? Lots of enrichment and play? A parrot can throw up a red flag or a green flag, depending on how the owner treats them. Answer 12 may be unpopular opinion, but wolf hybrida. It's obnoxious status seeking, and 90% of the time it's not a real hybrid, most likely a poorly trained and possibly mean Malamute. Answer 13. Anyone who brags about their dog who is difficult to handle, how strong and protective the dog is. Just always terrible dog owners who chose to raise a large aggressive dog in their failed attempt to look badass, or because they thought that the breed looks pretty. Answer 14. If someone says they have a ferret, a rat, or a guinea pig, and there isn't a caveat that one of the companions has recently passed. They are companion animals that need social interaction, or they will become depressed and die. Or anyone who has pets that they don't properly take care of, did no research before getting. Answer 15. Neglected pets. Answer 16. I used to work at a chain pet store and hated that we would sell exotic reptiles and birds. I would always try to talk people out of buying them. So many returned dead conures and finches with their necks broken BC people would buy them for their damn kids that were way too young to be handling them. Working there made me wonder if there's even an ethical way to be buying and selling animals. Answer 17. Dogs that would never hurt a fly or are completely trustworthy around kids. I used to work with service dogs. The company always told me to remember they're still animals and to expect them to do animal things. Any owner that overlooks the potential for their pet too behave out of character in difficult circumstances is doing their pet a real disservice. Answer 18. Ugh. I'd key. I would have to know more about the person. Some replies here are obvious. What kind of people are y'all hanging out with? Close in parenthesis. I will say that I worked in property management in another life, and a couple came in for a rental military, so they wouldn't be sticking around. They wanted something pet-friendly because we're going to be getting a husky. We're husky people. We had to give ours away last time we moved. Has to be a husky red flag. Answer 19 Munchkin cats. It's not a breed, it's a deformity. Answer 20. I live in a hot climate, never snows, hardly even rains. So, huskies. If a person owns a husky, especially a purebred, I can't help but immediately think they're a complete piece of shit. People. Pay top dollar for these designer dogs here. And all it does is support unethical breeders who run small-scale puppy mills in their own homes. It's just complete shit. They sell off those puppies for literally hundreds of dollars to people who don't actually give enough of a shit about the dog to realize the heat would make them miserable. Question 2, what's something you'll never be able to prove happened? But no, with 100% certainty, it did. Answer 1, when I was a kid in the back of my mother's car, I saw a penguin in a pond we were driving past. A penguin was sat in the pond looking very out of place. My mother was watching the road and my brother was on the opposite side of the car. I pointed it out, but by the time I got their attention, we had passed and the penguin was no longer in sight. My mother and brother didn't believe me. Later that day, we were watching the news and they were talking about a missing penguin. Somehow, they didn't connect the dots and must have forgotten I mentioned a penguin earlier that day, because when I pointed it out, they still didn't believe I'd seen a penguin. I am convinced to this day that I saw the escaped penguin, but I have zero proof. Answer. To one of my childhood friends stole a rare collectible trading card. No one else could have possibly done it. He had a habit of stealing small things. He was mad at me the day before it disappeared and had been at my house. Add in when I accused him rather than say. I didn't do it, he made up some overly complex story about how my parents always left the back door unlocked. I was bragging about it loudly at lunch. I did not. And any kid from town could have biked over to steal it. Answer 3, I watched ball lightning bounce down my road. My mother saw the light from it and came running from the kitchen to the yard. We lived on a rock and tar road, and you could see the melted marks where it bounced. Answer 4. When I was little, I was playing outside with my cousins at my aunt's house, and we saw this guy peeking into a neighbor's windows. We shouted, "It's BTK." Dude turned and looked at us, and then quickly walked away. We ran back into my aunt's house and announced that we just saw BTK. Everyone brushed it off. BC, we were young and in Wichita. K's, he was like our boogeyman. A, for those who aren't into true crime, he was a serial killer when they caught him. Years later, I jumped out of my chair when they showed his face on the news. It was the same guy we saw peeping. The neighborhood my aunt lived in was one he'd struck in before too. I'll never be able to prove that it was actually him that we saw. But even my aunt was convinced because my cousins and I had described the man to her. He looked a lot like my uncle, and lo and behold, our description was right on. Answer 5, I was casually listening to news radio while doing the dishes at home. I thought I heard that jackass star Ryan Dunn had passed away in an automobile accident. I stopped what I was doing and looked into it on Google. I felt like I was going crazy as there was no such news. A month later, he passed away in a horrible automobile accident. I would have sworn on my life I heard that on the radio that date. Answer 6. My brother and I once met each other in a dream when we were kids, like maybe 8 and 10, or maybe a bit older. I remember being in a Matrix-like completely white area, i.e. the construct from the movie, seeing only him there, asking him what he's doing here, and him saying he doesn't know or something to that effect. I then woke up, ran to his room, and he was also just waking up. Then we both essentially finished each other's sentences as we tried to explain what we just saw. It played out the exact same way for both of us, with each of us saying things about the dream that neither could have known unless he was there. We tried to tell our parents, and obviously they didn't really believe us. It never happened again. But to this day, I'm convinced it happened. Or it was an astronomical coincidence. One or the other. Answer 7. A friend of ours who we like, see often, and is a very nice person, stole a bag of dog food from our garage. We had just gotten the bag the day before she came over. It's not like she was going through some financial crisis that we know of. It was just really weird to come to the inescapable conclusion that, yup, she took it. Answer 8. That my friend stole my ADHD meds. I asked her if she had seen them, and she said I probably lost them, that I'm always losing stuff. The thing is, I never lose my meds. It's the only thing I don't lose, because they only ever live in my purse or my countertop. Took my meds going missing one. It's more time to never allow her back in my house again. She hasn't asked about why she hasn't been invited over in a while. Answer 9. Roby stole my Arrowhead when I brought it to school for show and tell in the 2nd grade. It was there before lunch. Robbie left the cafeteria to use the restroom. And when we came back from lunch, it was gone. He was the only kid to leave the cafeteria that day. Where's my fucking Arrowhead, Robbie? Answer 10. Casey Anthony did it. Answer 11. I saw Revenge of the Sith in theaters twice. Once Portman's line was so, "This is how democracy dies," with thunderous applause. The other time, it was so, "This is how liberty dies," with thunderous applause. It having been 20 years, I don't really remember much about either showing, but I do remember noticing in the moment that the line was different on the second showing. I remember going onto the StarWars.com forums and seeing a thread about the line being different. There was a 50/50ths or 60/40ths split amongst people reporting either line. That would be my best piece of evidence, but I was never able to find it in the Wayback Machine. Changing something like that at the last minute, late enough in the process that both versions end up in theaters, is something that feels like it. Would be completely in character for Lucas. But every home video version, and even the infamous backstroke of the Westcam recording, have the final Liberty line. And without the contents of that thread or the timestamps on the messages, even if you believe it existed, it's easy to dismiss it as people misremembering the line or conflating it with Obi-Wan's later line about his loyalty being to democracy. Answer 12. One time I was on a flight that just landed in Los Angeles, and I swear to God no one rushed the aisle like idiots racing to a red light. Everyone remained in their seats until the plane was fully docked, the seatbelt light turned off, and the door opened. It was first and only time it ever happened to me. It's the most cordial deplaning experience ever. Answer 13. This isn't necessarily an event as much as an effect. COVID has drastically increased mental illness. Answer 14. Michael Jordan. Leaving basketball in his prime at 30 to try and play baseball, only to return to the NBA. A year or so later was definitely some sort of shadow suspension for gambling. Answer 15. I once saw a massive fish in a cave in the Great Barrier Reef. It was blue, flat, and had one eye on either side. It kept turning around to look up at me, and I swear it was around 10 meters long. Answer 16. As a kid, I saw a butterfly stuck in some snail slug slime. I pulled them out of it and left them in the sun to warm up and carried on playing outside. About 10 minutes later, I saw the butterfly fly over to me, fly around me in a circle twice, and flew away. Answer 17. Mine is more personal than everyone else's, it seems. But it perplexed and enraged me for a while when it happened. My ex definitely cheated. The only proof I ever actually got was finding someone's contacts under our bed. 2 pairs, just sitting there in a row. No one we knew wore contacts, or at least no one I knew. Our room was our son's nursery as well. We had just emptied the room and shampooed the carpets a couple months prior to this. There were definitely no contacts on the carpet then. I made the mistake of confronting him before I could take pics, so he threw them away and told me I was seeing things lol. Sometimes I feel like being petty and posting on FBI, hardly even use FBN anymore, and being like, so now that we're all grown, who put their contacts under the bed at Alex's house in 2015? Lol, I'm just curious who TF it was at this point. I left him in 2018. Answer 18. That DB Cooper survived the jump and used some of the money to create a website to taunt the FBI. Answer 19. Epstein didn't commit suicide, and I am not a conspiracy person. Answer 20. I didn't crap in my grandma's tub. I don't care if it had to be grandpa. If it wasn't me, it wasn't me. Asterisk. Question 3. What are you binge watching? Answer 1. Resident Alien. It's so FKN good. Answer 2, Gravity Falls. I'll just start, but I know I'll binge watch it. I always watch it once a year. Answer 3, Shameless. How'd I miss this the first time? Answer for Dexter. Answer 5, The Wire. Again. Answer 6, and/or answer 7, Haunting of Hill House. Answer 8, just finished the Pit. Answer 9, Supernatural. Answer 10, Smallville. Answer 11, Murder. But answer 12, Breaking Bad. Never seen it, and my fiancé determined that I need 2. Answer 13, White Lotus. Answer 14, The Gilded Age. Answer 15, Harlots. On Netflix, it's brilliant so far. I'm on series 2, and like a more sexy and dramatic Bridgerton. Answer 16, The Righteous Gemstones and Vice Principals bonus. Just finished FX's The Shield. An absolute masterpiece. Answer 17, Big Les Show. Answer 18, every series of Taskmaster. Answer 19, Mr. Robot. Answer 20, The Penguin. Simply amazing. Question 4. What's the most painful thing a human can experience? Answer 1, death of your child. Answer 2, my child is neurodivergent and wants friends so badly. Watching other kids be mean to him at the playground last week almost killed me. Seeing your child hurt like that is terrible. I'd give anything to fix it. Answer 3, I hope I never find out. Answer 4, trigeminal neuralgias. Just an intense pain like an electric shock in one side of your face all the time. You can't even brush your teeth with it without pain. Answer 5, the suicide death of your child's. Answer 6, physically things like cluster headaches or severe burns. Emotionally losing someone you love deeply. Pain hits in more than one way. Answer 7, murder of a child. A family member was murdered when she was 2.5 the day before Christmas Eve a while back. Her funeral was the first one I ever went to when I was 11. I remember sitting there in a crowded funeral home trying to listen to the minister talk while her mom screamed, cried, and throwing up in a bucket. Her mother died a couple years later from a drug overdose, but she really died the day they found her baby in the basement. Answer 8. The answer is so obvious. It's definitely a paper cut. Answer 9. Losing someone who's still alive, but no longer the person you knew, whether it's due to dementia, addiction, brain injury, or even emotional disconnection. Watching someone fade while their body is still, here's a special kind of heartbreak. No closure, just slow loss. Answer 10. Rape. That's pretty bad. Attempted rape 2. Answer 11. Getting your heart broken by someone you trusted. Answer 12. I have had testicular torsion, and the pain was unspeakable. I got hit in the testicle once with a frozen paintball at point-blank range. The pain was spectacular. 1 time the girl I loved cheated on me. Another time and another girl. She packed up and left out of nowhere. Those moments destroyed me. I would rather have my nuts twist again. Physical pain has a weird ceiling, but emotional pain can compound exponentially, it seems like. Answer 13. Death of a family member child. Answer 14. It hurts pretty damned bad. To lose a beloved pet. Answer 15. I'm not sure what I'd do without my husband and children. How do people handle a death of someone so close? Answer 16 would say some chronic pain. I would say having a lot of 3 degree. Plus burns that get infected a lot, and suffering through it for a long time. I feel like feeling really high pain for weeks. And months is worse than feeling insane pain for minutes. Answer 17. I expected to see more childbirth comments. Is it not as painful as I've heard? Answer 18. The loss of someone you love. After my girlfriend died, it physically hurt, and I didn't get out of bed for days. It's been well over a year, and I miss her every day. Answer 19. Premature death of a beloved spouse. Answer 20. Loneliness sums it all up. Makes everything twice as bad. You can lose someone close to you, but if you have no one to help you get through it, the pain is much worse.